KontrolFreeks pleasure rings, or precision rings. $13 pieces of dyed foam that look like gummy rings. They don't taste like gummy rings. You stretch these over the stem of your controller's thumbstick and you have the precision of an esports athlete. Nick Merckx, FaceWag, Scump, Joe Woe. I ran out of good controller players, but I know there's more out there. This is you. You're the next one up if you use these rings. But in all seriousness, all jokes aside, all knee slappers and side splitters set to the back burner, do these actually work? Are they worth the $13? Do they help you with your precise finite movements to get more accuracy out of your controller aiming in first-person shooters? Let's get this thing. With a standard controller, obviously you're just going to stretch this out and slide it across the analog stick like that. Now be careful, you can't actually tear or rip these, and granted you do have a second of each one. That is, if you're not using it on the left analog stick, which you guys shouldn't, because again, that's just for movement. You want a short, non-resistant stick for the left, because that's just your movement. But for your aiming, you obviously want a taller stem or shaft, basically a higher stick. And if you're on a stock or standard controller, something like KontrolFreeks or a generic off-brand, I'll have a couple of cheaper options in the description. Something to increase the length of travel on your right stick. You want to increase the resistance, which is exactly what these precision rings are doing, and then crank up your in-game sense or sensitivity. Now, not through the roof. You don't need to be on like a 2020 or something like that, but maybe a 6.6 or a 7.7, something like that. If you have something like the Elite 2 over here that is magnetized thumbsticks, it will make getting these on and off incredibly easy, as you can just slide them over the stem like that. However, since these are already very long stemmed or shafted, if you will, you actually need to double these up. Now, what you can do is kind of pick and choose what tensions you use. So if you go like purple, green, black, that'll give you a slight bit of resistance at about 30 to 60%, then a little bit more, about 60 to 80. Then you'll be at full resistance from 80 to full lock. So that is nice. You can kind of pick and choose exactly where you want that increased tension, which is kind of nice. Same thing on this aim controller over here. I wish more companies did the magnetized thumbsticks. All the rest of these companies, Aim, Scuff, Battle Beaver, etc., they just have ones that are held on by friction, basically little plastic pieces that snap on and off, and that's cool and all, being able to swap your sticks, but I really do like the magnetized option on the Elite. They just seem to snap into place, and it's just easier to get on and off. But the grand question, the reason you clicked on the damn video wasn't because of how cute I looked in the thumbnail. Do these things actually work, and are they worth the money? Well, no, they're not worth the money. But do they work? Absolutely not. So even though I unboxed the fresh pack today and I'm recording this video, I have been using the KontrolFreeks pleasure rings for about a week now, and I can tell you, after getting stick time with the Xbox Series S, PlayStation 5, and with controller on PC as well, they do exactly what they're advertised as doing. Because, I mean, this isn't rocket science here. You basically put something like foam that is still squishy and malleable, I guess you could say, or pliable, in between your thumbstick cap and the shell. What's going to happen is the more you press towards the shell, you're going to get some resistance. Do you need these? Absolutely not. You can train yourself to have better control over the right analog stick, but I will say, for the average casual console player, because those two words go together very well, casual and console player, or maybe in your mind you're some kind of competitive esports athlete because you plug a controller into the front of your PC tower every weekend and slap noobs in some pub stomping. These will work, but again, you don't need them, just like you don't need a paddle controller. You can literally just use a standard controller claw grip if you want. They do exactly what they say. I do think they should be about $6.99 or $7 US. There's no way they should be $13 for a pack. And what these are best for, I would say, standard controllers. You have to double or even triple them up if you have a longer shaft or stem, like all of my aftermarket controllers do. What I do is I select a short stick on the left because it doesn't matter, and then on the right I have a taller stick. That way I don't need to use KontrolFreeks or anything, because these premium controllers come with swappable thumbsticks. Crank my in-game sensitivity generally 2 to 3 clicks up from default, and then if I have the option, like on the Elite 2, I crank up the tension or the resistance, which these do for any controller. And that is how you are going to get the best precision, the best accuracy out of any controller. Because using a controller, you only have 3/4 of an inch of adjustment as opposed to 6 to 8, maybe even 10 inches with a full-size mouse pad. You're going to need every little advantage you can get. That's exactly what these rings do. You stretch them out, you put them over your shaft of your analog stick, and you will perform better. It's going to happen. You're going to have more control over those finite movements. And I noticed personally for me, I noticed the biggest difference when I was making precise, finite, minuscule adjustments, because I have a tendency to overshoot my target because I get excited sometimes. I'm in a 1v3 situation, I tense up, my breathing gets sporadic, I lean in towards the screen, the monitor or TV, my blood pressure and heart rate are elevated, and I'm not thinking about the fundamentals that I've learned from playing FPSs for the last 2 decades, you know? I'm not thinking about, well, Kevin, you need to control your maneuvers here. I'm just whipping the stick around lock to lock all over the place, hoping my aim assist kicks in, and that's where these do help. Because in the heat of a gunfight, unless you're an absolute esports athlete that plays 8 to 12 hours a day, if you're a casual, you're probably not going to be constantly thinking in every gunfight, man, I'm using way too much stick input. And these will do that for you. They should be cheaper though. These are linked in the description below. If you Stallions and Stallionettes enjoyed this video, a like is greatly appreciated. It helps me to grow this channel, which I greatly appreciate as I am a grower and a shower. I show you guys content and my channel grows. It's interesting. Subscribe for more content like this. I cover news in the gaming community and industry, as well as tutorials helping you get set up streaming and YouTubing, esports drills to make you Stallions more efficient, and honest gaming peripheral reviews, keyboards, mice, headsets, pleasure rings. I'll see you tomorrow, because I upload daily. Peace.